Oh shit. Oh, welcome to Summer the Session podcast. This episode's gonna be wild. As you can see, the commando is out. British SAS is right there.
Oh, days, bro. Right.
This is
This is gonna be deep. He came with armor, man. He's ready for everyone today.
So I'm saying, yo, these two in their work clothes and put my work clothes on. So good.
Listen, boy.
Dear.
Listen, boy. How are we doing? How are we doing today? How are we doing? Oh man,
Not
can you
bad,
stop
man.
there?
Just checking. Just checking.
Oh shit. How are we doing anyway? Indy, how you doing?
I'm living the dream, boys.
I mean, as you can tell, you know, the country is in a high alert.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
yeah.
I saw
UK
Mo
is a
here.
dangerous
I
place
saw
to
Mo
live.
here with his fake passport. I was like, right.
I mean, there's a lot of our friends crossing the channel in those dinghies. So Indy's just making sure that everything is secure, isn't it?
Well, Jurins was
That's
the
the
one
what?
in a full night armor set. So to be honest with you, knighted already. So
Oh, you're
protecting-
you're
you're
talking about
protecting
what
Jurins at this point.
you're talking about what the Europeans have done.
Yeah,
Bro, that was
yo,
wild.
bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
That was wild. I don't know who had an idea to do that. That was crazy. You know, just
That-
imagine a black night, bro.
You didn't
Jesus.
even share my meme.
Second gamble. That's what you are. That's what I'm calling you from now on.
Second gamble,
Wait,
you know?
man, you didn't even share my meme.
You didn't post it, bro.
I shared it to
You
you.
didn't post it. No, but you shared it to me. You sent it to me on a message. You didn't post it, bro.
Yeah, I need to post. I'm being slacking on the meme front.
Exactly. Especially the one that Annie sent you. If you post that one, that would be wild, bro.
Yeah. I didn't know how people were gonna take that one, you know.
Especially me being black, bro. Jesus Christ. And you being like brown. It's not gonna sound well, bro.
What's that? That's not a thing.
Anyway,
Everyone's
moving
just
on.
listening to this podcast with zero context, and they've just stopped.
Wait a second.
laughing.
Wait a second. One
And
second.
then just
So unprofessional.
Fuck. My men want to advertise his ESN bars.
Nah,
Can you see that?
25% off.
I'm
25%
sorry.
off.
I'm sorry, Christian.
Code
I'm
bearded.
sorry. Because Christian has got Boku behind him.
That's why I said, there you go.
fuck's
Now you
sake.
get it.
I ain't got reflex. Oh, for
I'm
fuck's sake.
a lot less insufferable though. Let's be honest.
Hello, how have you got a plant in your back? I thought the only green thing in your house would be seasoning.
Wow.
Seasoning.
Just your parsley.
Green seasoning.
Parsley.
Wow.
So, you know, you've been Team GB now, so seasoning,
do-
what, parsley and some coriander.
You think I'm from Somerset or something?
Probably.
Wow.
I'm
Ma-
from
ma-
Lagos, bro.
Bro, men is sending for Ziana without Ziana
Coriander.
asking for it.
Those are coriander.
Men say it's from Somerset. Ziana is not even here, bro. Anyway, guys, seriously, literally, guys, thank you you guys for joining me on this one. So I feel like let's bring us together and let's just talk about a few experiences that myself and Christian and the team experienced at the World Games in China. I'm gonna start straight to it, right? In terms of like, especially of course, in the more you guys were home because you guys were not strong enough to qualify for the World
You
Games.
did not need to
Hello.
add that extra.
Speak for yourself.
You
but let's move
you
on.
could have just left it as you were in China and given us the breakdown. You didn't need to let us and remind us that we were
Speak
home.
for
watching
yourself.
from our
Let's
couch.
move on before I say too
Okay.
much.
So what I'm saying is, I'll restart again, right? Because I think this mic is
There you
blocking
go.
the t-shirt. So here we go. So what I'm saying is, you guys watch it from home, from literally in the comfort of your sofas in your living rooms.
Wait 2 seconds, Christian. That track top. Can we get it?
No.
The track top.
No.
Can I just carry on
You
with
need
my
to-
intro? Jesus.
You need a certain amount of resources to acquire it.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Listen,
Thank you very
before you
I'm
carry
going
on,
equipped. I'm
before
actually
you
going
carry
to go
on,
equipped.
can you imagine if Mo was going China? Can you imagine the time it would have taken him to sail to China?
I don't think I'd have got
Bro,
a visa in the
it
first
took him
place.
3 business days to get to Malta. How long do you think it would have taken for him to get to China?
Oh my Lord.
We were only there 9 days. We only were there for 9 days. So that's
He
all
would have
you
got there after it finished. He would have
Gosh.
caught
Well,
Annie
well,
on the return flight.
That's way more time than I was even in Germany for. So loads of time to make it
That's
and back.
wild. So,
I've also
guys,
got connections in China, man. So we can't business trip.
I will ask from your experience. You guys watch the World Games from home. What did you think of it? Because the reason I'm asking for it, there's a lot of hate on social media, especially for people that watch it, because I understand people saying the streaming was no good and all of that, blah, 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 blah. But I just want to get your views in terms of you guys watching from home. What do you think of it?
My perspective, right? I don't know who's hating or who's. I saw some stories online from a few people talking about this and that, but they're the same people that complain about everything that they don't do. So unless they're hosting an event, they just complain. But that's a separate issue. The only problem for me with the stream was having to go through their location, download stuff to watch the stream. Like I
You didn't
understand
have to
that.
do that.
No, but some people did. Sometimes it went
Yeah.
off. Sometimes but once it was working, it was fine. I think if they had everything set up the way they set it up, but just on YouTube, nobody would have had a complaint.
But you can't host World
But I
Games on
guess
YouTube. Yeah.
no, not even that. There's censorship issues around
Yeah.
China and YouTube and Netflix and a few other places. So, which is probably why they did it, which makes it is what it is. But like stream wise, I never had an issue with the stream. I never had an issue with like how it was set up. I didn't have an issue with the camera angles. Like I know people are like, why are they doing the top angle? I'm like, so did the IPF in Worlds had the top angle for bench and stuff like that. So like it's just nitpicky stuff, isn't it? Really.
I agree. Mo, what do you think? What did you think of it?
To be honest with you, as soon as I saw the Jumbotron, I said it was game over. So I was there was nothing else there. From our side, it looked like an insane experience. It looked like what you'd expect a government-funded program to look like, you know, when you actually have money come into the sport and when you actually have someone who's willing to go expend without any limit for expenses. Because what there was 26 Alico racks in the warm-up room. To be honest with you, I don't know if we have 26 illegal racks in UK.
That warm-up room was wild, though.
So I think that was the warm-up room was insane. The experience looks ridiculous. The commentary was actually also good, considering that I know a lot of there've obviously been jabs and comments here and there regarding the event itself. But I thought the overall presentation, considering the fact that this is the first time Classic was in it, bear in mind they've done Equip before. I thought they brought some little storylines here and there. They tried to make things interesting. They tried to backtrack on people's history. They were aware of Jad Jacobs' performance and how she wasn't tracking to what she normally should be aiming for. You know, they were obviously hyping your performance during. They knew the relevance of Kristen's pool. So they tried their best to highlight everything. The crowd seemed empty, but the only thing that would have but then again, you're in a different country that doesn't necessarily. I feel like if you're not anywhere that is in Europe, America, or like you're gonna struggle for a big crowd, to be honest with you. But overall, the quality of the meet, the standards that athletes were treated with, just looked beyond anything that we've seen before in powerlifting. So the only weird thing for me is the equipped guys never showed it like this, and I don't know if that should be because a lot of them are old heads and they just experience it. They don't really go on the social media to show the extravagant side of World Games and everything. But I feel like this is the first time people actually saw what World Games was about, and it's just a shame that it had to be when the classic lifters went, and we've not had this history. Because if the equipped guys had really led the social media drive and shown what the event and the status of it could have been, maybe we would have not lost so much momentum headed into the meet. But overall, I thought it was a good viewing experience.
But I guess they're not really that Instagram generation.
No,
Yeah, but then
we take a picture of like our drink and we put it on Instagram 7 times. You know, it's a difference. Like
yeah, and to be honest with you, even if they did, you probably wouldn't care. Let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. So, can you name
Mo would?
A third of,
it's not even a dig,
of the world
but Mo
champions on the
genuinely
equip
cares, I
sides?
think.
No,
if Tony
name
improved
a
his
third of the
camera
world champions.
quality for equipped side. But I don't even know who's winning equipped locally to talk about.
That's what I'm saying. So whatever they put on social media, you're not going to catch it anyways.
The one thing, sorry, missed
No,
it.
hey, quick, please.
One
No one come for me.
small criticism from my behalf was I think they needed to do more on the mic to shut off the live commentary because it bled through. Like we're fine because we understand what's going on, but you're trying to listen to the live commentary, but you can hear Joe, which is great. I love Joe, but like you shouldn't be able to hear both over the mic at the same time because it dilutes what they're trying to say sometimes. But that's literally me nitpicking.
Minor, yeah,
Yeah, that's me
But the thing is,
nitpicking,
like, look,
Yeah.
I would just, of
and
course,
that's only
Christian,
stream based. That's it.
and Christian, before you jump in, I would just say my 2 cents here. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of criticism has been around in terms of like the streaming, the live commentary. Some people, some of those are the two guys that were behind the mic, not getting the data right. People are forgetting, number one, the World Games is not just powerlifting focus. There is multiple sports happening there. It's state sponsored. We don't have control of who's going to be behind that mic, who's going to be holding the cameraman. It's not IPF. IPF does have no power at all. Do you know what I mean? So that's number one. And number two is, again, you guys mentioned about the camera angles. You mentioned about the audience. That place where the powerlifting was, the place is hold like 22,000 people, I think, on top of my head, right? Even though when they were saying there was 3,000 tickets that were sold for each session, and the way people were spread in that place, right? I mean, you will barely get 50 people sitting in one place, but all you look around, people just dotted all over the place, right? I get because powerlifting is such a small sport. In the future, probably, if my feedback, the one that gave on the feedback sheet, it would be probably to reduce that space around the stadium, put barricades or whatever banners, so make it a little bit concise just in front of the platform so we can get down more numbers. Just imagine Sheffield, right? Sheffield runs about 2,200 people. Get 2,200 people in an arena that has got 22,000 people. Put 2,200 people there. You tell me how filled up it's going to look. Do you know what I mean? So that's basically like what, 10% of that, the whole thing.
Yeah, there's still more people there than at a United game, so it's all good.
But anyway, that's my experience. That's just my thoughts in terms of that. I mean, I haven't watched it in terms of like to see what people are seeing. Now, the bit of clips I've watched and the bit I've watched so far, to me, I didn't see anything is wrong with it. But again, for someone that has done pretty much all the meets in powerlifting meet on the planet, again, I said this, and I'm an SPD athlete, right? It's not me grasping Sheffield here or anything, but in terms of the athlete experience and everything around the World Games, it's 10 times Sheffield.
Yeah, you can see it.
Sheffield.
So we only got a glimpse of what you lot must have gone through, but like it was insane. Like the scanners at the entrance, like the pass scanners at the entrance, like people at the airport, like how everything was dealt. Like we only got to capture it through you guys' eyes. So like, to be fair, it was good that you were posting so much, but it looked fucking insane, like genuinely. They looked like every sort of bit was catered for, like full board at the hotel. Are you taking the piss?
Yeah, so because I was listening to a podcast and they said that people had to go and get food for them by themselves while in China. I was like, didn't you guys get breakfast, lunch, and dinner while you were there?
What?
Hold on. Who said that? Who said that?
I ain't outing people, but there was a podcast where they were saying that one of the struggles was in China was trying to locate food, and I was like, I'm pretty sure
podcast.
Not everybody's supposed to podcast.
Regional record holders.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you guys had breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It was full board buffet. Full board buffet.
Go on.
Listen, yeah. Listen, obviously, I haven't been to Sheffield. I've been to Sheffield, but I haven't been to Sheffield. If you catch my drift. Now, the stuff about the stream, I will say that I do understand, because some of those angles were not useful to anybody. Like, I don't really
check
understand.
your hairstyle though.
Yeah, I don't bench maybe top down, but squats and deadlifts, like, we don't need that.
It made sumo deadlifts look very weird.
And the squat, you can see everything, all this little wiggle and jiggle that people are doing. So I I take that criticism, not that it's got anything to do with me. I think the refs, the IPF should definitely have. I don't know what they're doing without a screen on their desk. I don't know what that's about. That's bang out of all that at any international.
Well,
and
that's
then
not award. Also, another thing I heard people say that. Sorry for interrupting. That's not award games fault. That's the IPS fault.
That's the
that's why
IPF.
that's what I'm
Yeah, that's what
saying.
he
That's
said.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying. I
it's
don't know
not.
whose fault
Yeah.
it is, but they all know better. So there's no, we don't even need to expand on that. I think the commentary again, I'm here or there. I'm 50-50 on it because, as Jurins said, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody that's listening, I think there's like 36 different sports at this event. 36, right? And these guys have to pick up and understand they had done their homework. These are not powerlifting commentators, right? So, they, relative to their experience, personally, my assessment of their commentary is 10 out of 10, to be quite
10
honest with you,
out of 10,
because
bro.
10 out of 10, because
Yeah.
it's like you're watching sports. I was clipping up my
Yeah.
for my recap, and I'm thinking, am I on ITV? Is this like a Champions League night or something?
Bro, had that perfect British accent. Was I dropping it? I was
Exactly.
even like there was a quote he said for Bobby Butters. I was like, bro, I even wrote it down. He said Bobby Butters is normally a storm on the platform, but now she needs to remain calm as she approaches his lift. I was like, bro, where are these guys pulling these things
Exactly.
out?
Apparently, Jurins is now the Iceman. I don't know where they got that from.
Bro, call me Iceman. From now on, I'm gonna change my Instagram handle,
maybe because
bro.
he looks like that guy from Invincibles.
Bro, you said whatever you want.
You
I'm
know
an
what I'm
Iceman,
about?
bro. I'm
You
an
coming-
Iceman.
You know
You're
who I'm
coming
on
from a
about.
different perspective.
I should have get ice pack before we start, but carry on, Christian.
So I understand that some geeks and some powerlifting nerds want to hear a certain kind of thing, but from the neutral's perspective, for somebody that's getting into powerlifting, that commentary was exemplary. Obviously, can it be better? Yes, of course it can, but it will only be better if that kind of attitude is applied. If they were to do 3 or 4 internationals a year, then I think you'd get the best of both worlds, in terms of the specific powerlifting, nerdy, experienced viewpoints and nuances and all that stuff, and then you get the sort of generic sporting commentary expertise. But the athlete experience. I don't even know what kind of superlatives I can ascribe to this event, because I'm sitting at home, yeah, and I'm at the same time I'm motivated and I'm sad, because the likelihood that I'm going to experience that again is very small. And I want people to understand that I felt, as when I said this to the guys, I felt like I'm earning 50,000 a week for powerlifting when we were there for the 9 days. I kid you not. And everyone was taking a mick at me the first 2-3 days. I videoed everything, so I haven't really been posting yet. But the vlogs I'm going to post, I'm just going to be posting random things. It's going to be November, and I'm still going to be posting about
Why
World
don't you
Games.
do a YouTube series? I know you don't have time to breathe, but like I think you'll get a lot of people watching it. Like
I may
legitimately,
do.
get Mo
No.
to edit it. Mo don't do anything.
No, I think I will, because
Why
the
not just
issue
come from 3 hours of overtime from the office? This guy.
Yeah, for free. Moving on. Why don't you
But,
just? Hey Mo.
no, I may actually do that once things calm down, because it's important. Jokes aside, it's important for the youngsters and for people that are in a position in 2028 to do the World Championships, to bear this in mind if Classic is fortunate enough to be in there, because if you want an experience that is going to make you feel like a professional athlete, right? I don't care if you got 500k followers. I don't care if you got 500 followers. If you want an experience that's going to make you feel like a professional athlete in powerlifting, the World Games is the place to get it. Everybody, I'm putting all of you on game 4 years, 3 years in advance, because we turn up at the airport. Okay, let's take a step back. We've bought our flights. We're on our way to the British airport, the French airport. There are tags. There are the World Games tags and designated people at various airports around the world. people should start to understand the significance of that and the amount of manpower and finances that's gone behind this event, right? And they're giving people fast access, access through the fast lane to the airport. You know, Carlina posted on her story that they're taking them on a buggy from the airplane to the other side of the airport onto the train station, and on the other side of the city, and things like that. And from start to finish, it was immense. You know, the accreditation is like something you can hang up. It's not something that's going to rip. You know, as Indy said, you go into the hotel, you scan it for about 2 seconds, your face comes up on the screen, then you gotta go through security. There's a police station, a mocked up police station in the athlete village, which wasn't really a village, it was the hotel. I think that's we met some Olympians and they said that it is kind of like a village at the real Olympics, you know, just like for those of you in the UK, Stratford and all that infrastructure. Nevertheless, they got like the robo-dog things in the mock-up police station. They got chiropractors that they've mocked up. They got information desks. They got all free condoms. They got all the full board.
Can you repeat that one? Can you repeat for people to hear that?
Free what? How Christian was ranking the important things. Immigration.
No.
Police.
5-0.
I'm just saying, yeah. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm just saying that they thought about everything that you could think of. Everything.
Lube station.
Everything, bro.
Just Jurins permanently there. Just whole baggage underneath. Just fucking.
For me, like again, I'll go back to say the reason why I really believe, this is just my personal opinion, I strongly believe in this one. Like the reason why we didn't get enough coverage, media coverage when it came to the World Games, even though we didn't know what we were expecting in China, is I'll put it down to this one. When you don't get the Americans in any sport, when they said we don't want to participate, suddenly the sports become shit in the eyes of the world, right? Because the sports or the event devalued. So, like, for instance, Sheffield. If all the Americans drop out of Sheffield, Sheffield would not have the value that we have anymore. And especially if we don't...
2 seconds. I mean, because all the Americans came into powerlifting in America because of Sheffield.
But that's what I'm saying. Because of Sheffield, but if you remove all of them, I'm talking about all of them, the amount of media interaction Sheffield gets, they don't want to get it. Do you know what I mean? And then plus, the other thing as well, if King of the Lift is not part of your so-called grandest event, you're not going to get... Look at his podcast, right? Look at Ryan's podcast. There's not a single podcast he's done where anybody praise the World Games or anybody push for people to go and do the World Games. It was just like, you wait and see. Even Matt Gary turned up to the podcast that I listened to last night or the day before. You can tell, even though it was selling this event, but they were not buying it because they were not there. And I don't blame him because Ryan was not at the World Games. He can't really tell you how great the World Games is. But, I will sit.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not a fan of that. Just because the Americans don't turn up, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I know where you're coming from, but that's just their ego.
To be honest with you, let's not just say only the Americans. We lost a lot of social media influencers going into this meet.
Yeah,
we also had a strong in the European side also. So it's just one of those unfortunate situations where the popular group didn't turn up, right?
Because for me, if we're gunning for the Olympics, right? You know, a lot of people in the sport are gunning for us to be a member of or partner of the Olympics to turn up at the Olympics one day. This is where it starts.
100%.
You know, the reason I was so upset about seeing all these drop out, because I don't blame them, and especially Robert Keller. I wanted to catch him at the World Game and have a word, but when I approached, it was like, I'm busy. I wanted to say, what the fuck has he done? Increasing those fees for those guys to drop out because they don't have £1,200 to come to China. Do you know what I mean? The reality is, like, this was our invite for us to tell the World Game, they always see everybody, we are here. Look at what we can do. Do you know what I mean? But they killed that for us. And then I know Christian was kind to say 2028 for people to compete. But from what I've been hearing, Classic might not even be around anymore.
And I've been
That'll be a
saying this to
massive
people.
mistake.
I don't blame them.
No, it's not. You can't. It's not blame
Don't
them.
blame who?
First of all,
The
IPF made a lot of
Olympics for
mistakes
saying-
on their side.
You can't blame
Don't
the
blame
Olympics
who?
for being like, we don't want you at the next World Games if
No.
50% of your people drop out.
No. But it's not the IOC. It's not the World Games. This is an IPF thing. That's the first thing about it. And the real sad thing for me, even though I think the first reserve, is that it was a success. I don't know online that the World Games would have had as much traction as they did. I should be honest, on Thursday and Friday as they did on most of the other days, because
Not even close.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So and
Oh,
that's with
yeah.
no Panna, that's with no Leah, that's with no Russ, all these people, yeah. So it was an
Literally
overwhelming success. Look
on the World Games thing
at
on
Mo's screen.
Thursday or Friday, powerlifting made it onto the popular section. Like that was the lightweight class, like classic weight class, and made it. Nothing. No, I didn't even see a equipped scratch. I didn't even
Yeah,
post
but
a story about
I'm not
it.
even talking about. I'm talking about in
Yeah.
the other sports, because
Yeah.
of course
It was
people are watching
massive.
powerlifting more than they're watching tug of war. That's just what it is. So I don't really buy this thing about people understand why it's not there, because at the end of the day, classic is the most exciting, most growth, most accessible strength sport there is right now. Really, I mean, it's like I always say it. It's like football's easy to access. You need a ball and two jumpers. Everyone's already in a gym these days doing one-off squat, bench, deadlift. So the potential is there.
It's
But
massive. Yeah.
yeah, I think hopefully it will be there. I don't know that it will be, but certainly from most of the people that were there right now, there is enough clout. There is enough skin in the game now to actually send that message that next time the World Games is really it. And I think if you just, for the listeners, right, if you go back and you look at all of the world champions, the IPF world champions, and look at their recaps, right, just read it and see what they say in comparison to IPF Worlds and Sheffield, because they all been there. So you don't even need to take my word for it, right? Just go and look at what they say, because it's once every 4 years. It's I think I need to. I'm going to keep going banging on about different things, but it's the top of the mountain.
It is, because the thing is, like, again, I'll go back to, I know we're going to touch on individual performance, right? We're just ranting about, of course, the experience and all of that. The fact that, myself winning the athlete of the day, that is the first powerlifter probably in history at the World Games to win that. And what we're talking here, right? Let's put it in the perspective. There is 9 days or 10 days of competition, right? Every day there's one athlete of the day. So we're talking about 10 athletes within 4,000 athletes and within 32 sports. And your sport has made it to the top of the mountain.
If they weren't looking at classic, Jurins would not be athlete of the day.
No.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
and this is this is not something like, oh yeah, there's a journalist that saw you was like, oh yeah, because that guy has got a ball patch and he's 36 years old, let's give it to him. No. This is actually voted between the community. Do you know what I mean? These are the people that look at the thinking, okay, what do we have? How the performance looks like? How the view looks like? Do you know what I mean? How the interaction of the audience was? How was everything in terms of the experience? That's how you voted for it. So for me, even though, again, as Christian said, to me, at that moment in China, if you come to me and said to me, Jurins, I think this is it, I would have said more than happy. I walk away from powerlifting, because I don't see any other platform I will ever step in my life that will be better than that. It's almost like, when people talk about Gibbs being ahead of his time in terms of his strength, right? People talk about Ashton Ruskin and the rest. What the people that were ahead of their times when they were talking these massive numbers. The World Games for me in powerlifting classic is ahead of its time in terms of our athletes' experience. I'm not saying we're not going to get there. I mean, of course, we have got Sheffield, which is the pinnacle right now for everybody can get access to. But let's be honest here. Sheffield, every year, you will try your best a world to make Sheffield through. Maybe you're given a wild card, as some people have been given a wild card for free, or right, you win it, you earned it like everyone else are there earning their spot. But the World Games, my brother, my sister, you're not going to be given it. You have to earn that shit. And it comes every single 4 years. I know you're going like that, yes. The only people that go wild card for the World Game because they drop out. You can't blame anybody. These people go wild card is because they perform in the world. How can you not tell me it's not earned? No one was given a fucking free wild card at the World Games. Name one.
Well, that's the same as a Sheffield wild card, though, isn't it? It's the same.
Come on,
Not really,
Sheffield, what?
because like
Come
to
on.
get a
No.
world, to get a
No,
world
bro, what are you
competition,
talking
have to
about?
actually compete
Have you
at
seen the
Worlds.
latest series?
Bro.
How many of those athletes were at Worlds this year? It's not 100%. There's some potential wild cards that ain't never been to Worlds. So I don't want to hear that.
Bro.
Mo
Senior worlds, obviously.
Mo loves trying to like just kick people. That's what he does. He's just sat there at the back like with like spitballs.
I was trying to hype up people and say World
No,
Games.
the thing is like the reality.
If you
of
make
things,
it as a
look,
wild card, you've earned your spot. You know.
bro, look, I love Ade, I love Carlina, right? They end up at Sheffield not being a fucking world. Do you know what I mean? The World Games, you can't never end up at Sheffield in the World Games. Do you know what I mean? Unless you got that special regional wild card.
But they need to open up. So I'm not a big fan of the current wildcard system, though, because there was no clarity regarding the system and how people actually earn that wildcard. And also, it just seemed very restrictive in the sense of there were loads of spaces that were lost in the lightweight men's class and the middleweight men's class, just due to the fact that
I mean, some of the
people dropped out.
federation, they dropped the ball. Like us, we dropped the ball on Indy. Indy would have been in China if our federation did not drop the ball on him.
And Taz.
And Taz.
Yeah, that's criminal.
Do you know what I mean? You can't really blame the
actually
World
criminal.
Yeah,
Games
like
or-
because
I mean-
also it's people just like you said, people just fucking failing to do their jobs right.
But also, we should never in a position. Imagine it shouldn't be possible for us to be sitting down and saying they dropped the ball and getting the athletes for World Games.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
this is where, we aren't British athletics, we aren't British weightlifting, we're not an Olympic sport. This is the difference in these things, I don't mind the restriction because that's how every other sport works. Like in football, if you don't go to a qualifying competition, you ain't getting nowhere. If you ain't on that 100-meter start line, there's no wild card. This even thing of wild card is a nonsense.
Weightlifting works in a weird way because I followed weightlifting a bit, and I know the way they rank it for Olympics. It's not actually based off attendance to a specific event, but rather it's based off your points accumulation.
A standard,
the more internationals you attend, the more your points accumulate over the 4-year period or 2-year period, and then you qualify in the international team.
That's still the same, bro. So if you ain't got enough points, you ain't going, no matter how talented you are. So whichever way you want to cut it, you have to make the cut. That's just what it is. So all this special stuff that we do in powerlifting, bro, that's not reality. That's just I like it because you need to grow the sport. I do like it, but where we're trying to get to, that doesn't exist. So
I think
But
generally
we need to be
better.
Yeah,
Like all
we need to
across
sell
the
it for the
board.
future, mate.
Across the board, we need to be better in a multitude of ways that we're just sort of slipping behind. Like we did this, it's the pinnacle, here's World Games, but like we're all this bit here, we've sort of fucking lost a bit, I think.
And so, boys, let's go through some of the performance, some of the highlights. So, because even though myself and Christian were there, but I was well impressed in terms of like people performance at the World Games. Especially was a quick turnaround, and I mean I can't talk about the New Zealand; they do it all the time. But I mean we flew it like 11 and a half hours, 7 hours ahead. That's serious time zone change right there. So, and then of course I think I cannot stress this enough. In terms of like, I know Indy talk about it a lot when he talk about a small weight class at World by the World Games. I mean, if you talking about the worst conditions that a lifter can perform or a lifter can do what they need to do is the World Games. So like my weight class, it was 5 people, right? and Joy and Bobby was like, what, 7 and it ended up being 6 because I think Kiara, when she bobbed out, she decided not to put any attempt selection. So, like, yeah, everyone was nerfed in that class as well. I know Indy wouldn't like things like that, but yeah,
But
it is reality.
it's just stupidity, though, isn't it? Like if you think about it, like at that stage, at world stage, regardless of what stage, nobody likes missed lifts. Nobody, it doesn't help. It's not a spectator sport. It doesn't make for good viewing. It doesn't make for good results. It doesn't make people feel good. Nobody wants missed lifts. So like 5-man fucking flights. Are you taking a piss?
Yeah. And they
And like
even
the heavier
tried.
you are, the harder it is. Like ask Sunita and Bertel how it felt to have a small flight.
Yeah. And they couldn't, I mean, again, as I said, because of the World Games, it's not IPF, we were powerless to change certain things. The schedule were the way they were, the schedule were. If anyone want to blame anyone, it's not really an IPF thing. Go and find someone at the World Games and lock fingers or lock horns with them, because that's how they schedule it. They didn't want to change it. So people like us, I think Matt and the team, when they went to this technical meeting, they're trying to get maybe the 93s or whatever, heavyweight bunch up with us, or get the ladies, the man to bunch up just to buy time. They said, no, we're not doing that. It's separate. It's separate. Whether the
You've
4-3,
got
yeah.
because
Do you know what I mean?
for them, they've been planning for 4 years for this event, and powerlifting, it just looks like they
Yeah,
bundled their way in and sort of like made a whole mess of the situation and asking, "Can you help us at the last minute?" Because we didn't communicate the process to everyone, and everyone's a bit confused on our side. It's like
Yeah.
they dropped the ball really for me. I'm more pissed off about the IPF than even anyone dropping out, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Because the thing is, like, people talking about the warm-up room, 26 combo racks, and they had the equipment we had in the warm-up room was, I think, 580,000 euros worth of, right? Yes, it's grandest, but it was catered like that because
Because
the
we're
World Game
explaining.
had a
Yeah.
list of how many people would turn up.
Yeah.
Do you know
Like the
what I mean?
IPF easily could have, like, you could have even dropped little promos. World Games, this is the quality of World we're expecting. This is Jumbotron, this is the event. Nothing until like a week before the event. It's like
It's a disconnect, though, isn't it? That's the problem. And it's always been
Yeah.
a disconnect with the IPF.
Yeah.
Like, for real, it always has been a disconnect. And for a lot of powerlifters, fucking hell, I'm going to go on a rant in a second. But powerlifters, a lot of powerlifters have never done any other sport. And that shows because they go, unless I'm specifically involved, I'm going to fuck. And that's it. That's their level. That's their mentality.
Yeah,
is
true.
why they're gonna stay subpar. Is why regional records are gonna be the fucking limit of their life. But that's because of their mentality. Let's be fucking perfectly honest. Like if
Yeah.
they gave a fuck and were like, whoa, 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 it would amount to a lot, but it never amounts to a lot because everyone's happy with this little bubble that they're in. Look at me.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, in terms of like, let's go from the bottom up to the from the down weight class to the top weight class. So yeah, with the ladies, of
Okay,
course.
yeah. You want to do best of your top
I was
performances at
literally
the
gonna
end?
say top performance. Or should we do it at the beginning?
Yeah,
do
on
it at the
top-
beginning. I say do it at the beginning because it's popping. Like your favorite performance of the event.
Okay, for me, if you want to ask me my favorite performance, well, bar myself, you know, it's seeing a certain 98.8 kilo guy squatting 322.5, where a few weeks ago he was dying of 280 kilos, right? So I'm not saying because he was my teammate, looking at seeing Christian performing there, I'm not just saying that, but it's just like I was just shocked. Because if I would have bet my house telling me Christian is going to squat over 315, I would say hell no. Do you know what I mean? Even when he hit his second squat, right? Even Matt was like, oh, he had 5 more on that last squat. I was like, Matt, his second squat did not look like he had a 10 more. Do you know what I mean? But the way
This
he
is
smoked
Jurins.
that
This is Jurins. They're like,
Yeah.
Jurins, what you want to do? Yeah, that's best I can do.
You know what I mean? So for me, Christian performance was really like it was amazing to see, right? And then the fact that Christian got caught on bench depth, that was comical to me, right?
Yo, it's your fault for having them big ass pecs, bro. Bro's out here like this.
You know, again, comical. And if you look at the whole team, right, in terms of like our team GB, again, I'm not saying this because I'm part of the team or whatever, right? You watch Joy smoke that 240. I was there, right? I was about to go and deadlift, but my weight class is about to start. But I was on the Jumbotron like that with my phone, recording Joy. I was like, this is fucking insane, right?
I thought she was going to rip
So,
it again.
yeah. So for me, it's like, again, as I said, those were the moment that I captured, and of course Bobby Bata and then the rest, Annie and Ziana were amazing. But yeah, Christian for me was like it was surprising. Everybody else at the World Games, I was not too surprised at what they did, but that 322.5 kilo squat that caught me off guard. That's just me. Yeah.
I think for myself, I'll go with Tiffany Chapon. I think that 450 kilos. I think I think if there was an embodiment of piss stuff on my PF Worlds, it was her, and everything was packaged with anger in that lift. To go 450, and she only 0.1 over the weight class.
47.1, bro. 15 kilos
Like,
over the 47 kilo world record.
yeah, but her body weight was basically in the weight class, but just slightly above. It was like it was a calculated effort to go, hey, I'm gonna show you I can break it by a significant amount, and then I'll see you the rematch at Sheffield.
But they changed the approach to attempt selection. That's what helped as well.
Yeah,
Let's
but
not forget that.
450, bro, a lot more than attempt selection change for 450, man. That's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was very impressive for me.
Christian?
Man, I mean, I don't really want to talk about you because
You get your flowers later.
yeah. Because that's the obvious 1A, 1B, 1C answer. So that aside, because okay, let me at least spend a minute on that. Euros. I think what is it? British Commonwealth Euros World Games. I'm an athlete myself, yeah, and there's certain things that I envisage myself doing, right? So I already won a world championship in my head. I don't care what any of you say or think; it don't matter to me. I've already been at Sheffield multiple times, right? But I have not thought of doing Euros World Championship in Sheffield and winning World Games. That in my head, yeah, it hasn't even entered into my head of being possible. So that's the reason I'm mentioning that is because that's what this guy's done. Anyways, I think I don't really have a favorite because the whole time is just fever dream. I think that Carlino getting that world record, Foe with his 318 deadlift, Fareed and that stupid 217 kilos, Joy coming back to get that 240 that she missed in Malta, Bobby breaks 500. Man, it's like you were just there and you'd be like, this is just like elites. The only people missing were the Americans. If the Americans were there, it would have been like the best powerlifting meet ever,
All time. Yeah.
Yeah.
all time,
100%.
all time. You can't
Yeah.
convince me otherwise.
So you'd have had the star power and also the star venue and the star setup and everything.
I'm also the talent.
Yeah, because honestly, I don't think I came fourth, yeah, and I'm a little bit annoyed at my performance. I'll be real, just purely from an athlete standpoint. But I thought, that there were 3 world champions that have beaten me, 3, and 2 of them, Emil and Anatoly, they are stoic as anything. They don't speak to anybody, right? During the week of competition, these guys were smiling all over the place during World Games.
But Anatoly spoke English, bro.
I was
He
like, what's
spoke
happening?
English.
And when I saw his body weight, I was like, why is he 98? He bombed out at Worlds and he walked off like he didn't care. And all of a sudden, he's cutting for World Games. When I saw that, I was like, oh, this is World Games now. That's what we're doing. Because it didn't make sense to me, So the whole thing was just I'm just going off one because the whole thing was just like I don't have one favorite moment because it was all great in terms of the actual lifting. I know we're talking about people that had 5, 6, 7-man flights and stuff like this, but you wouldn't really have known it from the attempts that were made.
Very
You
true.
know, it's not like everyone was missing attempts left, right, and center. We weren't. So, yeah, I mean, the only thing that could have made it better is Agatha being there, Americans being there, Panalia, these guys, and then it's the whole thing's a wrap.
Mindy, what about yourself?
I don't want to say the ones that have already been said because like bases are covered, like, and it makes sense. But Carlina for me, I'll be real because it's funny because she did a second, and the commentators did a Ryan. They were like, "Don't know how much is there. You're very slow. Don't know if she'll get a third." And then she moved it 2 RP faster for a world record pull. Not giving a fuck. Yeeted everything. Fuck Sheffield. Fuck everything else. She's just like, I'm gonna pull this now, and it moved faster than her second. And I was just like, at what point do you just go? You can't doubt this woman anymore. Because I'll be real, every time she goes into a competition, most of the time it's Ryan, but somebody there is doubting her and if she can do it, how far she's traveled, how tired she's looking, how slow the second moved, and then she always goes faster, locks it up better, and shuts up the haters. And then 3 months later, it's the same fucking conversation again. If I was her, I'd be fucking tired, bro. But she's like proving people wrong again and again and again. And like Jurins, she's what hasn't she won? Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Podiumed,
like
podium at Sheffield,
everywhere, like
won
podium
Worlds,
every
and now
single
World
place
Games.
possible.
Yeah,
Like, so you got to give the people who deserve their dues their dues.
100%.
But
Yeah.
fucking, there was some like Christian's benched it. I'll probably speak about it after anyway. But there was some questionable shit going on. That depth rule just needs to be scrapped at this point in time.
Yeah,
I don't
100%.
know
I
what
mean,
the fuck's going on.
Kiara bombing out on that
That
one.
was
That
such
was
a
wow.
joke. Because even me looking at it from the outside, I was like, yeah, man, she's got that. And they were like, no. I was like, at what point do you just say, fuck this shit?
Where they were trying their best to ruin it for everybody, the athletes, the viewers. I was like, what are these men on?
Do you
What are
think
you doing?
they were extra harsh because they were trying
It
to be like, this
was
is the biggest stage, we
No,
want
no,
to
I don't want to
be?
hear that. Nah,
No.
bro, I'm a
I'm
fan.
not saying it's
Everybody.
good. Yeah.
No.
But I was
It's a
just saying, do you think
nonsense.
they had that mentality?
No. It's a nonsense. I'm a fan of the bench death rule. Let that be known. I'm a fan of it. But it has to be consistent and it has to be policed well. You cannot look at something and think that's okay. It's fine. The whole point it came in, right? There's a thing called discretion. If you don't know what, go look to Merriam-Webster, the Oxford Dictionary. Look up what it means. Yeah, discretion. It came in because we didn't want to see. I don't care what anyone else, all the powerlifters, OG powerlifters think. Nobody wants to see a bench press with
Yeah,
a
it's
disc
true.
on.
It's true.
Ain't nobody want to see that. That's the first thing, right? So that means that has to be considered when you're judging the rule, right? So if somebody moves the bench this far, yeah, and the bottom of their elbow and what looks like the middle of their shoulder is around the same place, I'm giving a white all day. I'm giving a white. Because first of all, the lifter has to. If the decision is in doubt, the lifter has to get the benefit of the doubt.
It literally
That's
says
just what it
that
is.
in the rule book, like to give the benefit of the doubt to the lifter.
I've said
But
this so many times, but I fear judges don't listen to that.
99.9% of judges do not fucking follow that to the rule. Like
No.
even at regionals now, you got people who think they're judging Sheffield. They're like,
The
"Oh,
funny thing is that
get the protractor out." I'm like, "Fuck off."
the only thing I would say about this is our judges and referees are intending to get a little bit more of talk about in a competition because they're not consistent, which is really sad because the competition should be about the lifters and the performance. It shouldn't be about the referees. You shouldn't be, we can't be sitting here talking about, oh, they don't have monitors. We can't be sitting, oh yeah, that referee was sleeping like mine was sleeping a world. Do you know what I mean? You can't be doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Bro,
I mean,
your tempo is too long, man. So it's not.
no, this on the deadlift, bro. But anyway, even the World Games on my second attempt deadlift, I got yellow. And I was like, what the hell? It was like, oh, sorry, I made a mistake.
There were some weird yellows thrown in. There were genuinely some yellows. I was like, do we have colorblind refs?
You know, because I said to my point was, I said,
was
look,
the funniest, man. He
but
received every single,
you know,
single thing
my
to
point
get.
was,
He was
you
playing
gave me
Connect 4.
my point was like, you gave me a yellow. If you gave the referee an incentive to think about that, I would have probably not get left. But you saying you made a mistake. Do you know what I mean? You can't make a mistake on a platform like that. That's too big of a platform to make mistakes like
I think the issue is, right,
I mean,
this is the problem for me, right? You go into a lift and you're thinking, right, I like standards aside, if you ignore the, just squat deeper and all the rest of it, you're going, oh, I've got like 2 out of 3 chances here. Like, it's fine. The benefit on your side, like your odds are on your side. When you then like have a ref who's very, I'm not going to give you the benefit of the doubt and just red lights everything, you're like, it's a toss up because one of the ref goes against you, you're fucked. Then is no longer benefit of the doubt. The odds are no longer in your favor. Like, it just makes things much, much worse. It makes people lift differently. It ruins the viewer experience. It ruins the athlete experience. Sort of not what you want in a competition.
Yeah.
Like, be harsh, but be consistent. You can't just be that inconsistent. That picture of the back of people on the bench that like a million people shared. I was like, I can't tell you which one they gave reds to, which one they gave like whites to. I couldn't tell you, and all of them were wrong.
So
But I'm with Christian. I do think we need a bench step rule, but I just think because of how inconsistently it's been judged, what the fuck do you do as a lifter? I'd be pissed if I was Kiara, bro. I'd be fucking
course you would.
agitated.
bro, she wasn't bits.
Wasn't even wrong.
She was, and the funny thing when you think about it as well, right? Don't get me wrong. If you go there, I mean, Christian can vouch for this. Every single lifter that went to the World Games, if you ask them, did you come here for a performance or the win? They will tell you the win don't matter, right? The performance don't matter. It's great. You want to perform, but you want to win. But at that moment, it was more about the experience than anything. Every single one of us, right? So when it come to Kiara as well, why she was in beta that day is because she was one of the favorite, right? And then again, this comes to down what I just said earlier. We might not see Classic at the World Games. And this might be probably the first and the only time. And then again, at the same time, I will go back and double down on this. Mate, China, bro, they do everything big. They throw money at it. The next one will be amazing in Germany, but I don't think the next one will come even remotely close to what the Chinese have done.
No, it won't. It won't.
Right?
For them, it's a sense of like national pride to do.
It's a pride. Yeah, it's a
certain
cultural
way.
thing.
You know?
Also, there were some Chinese lifters in that classic competition. The whole
let's talk about it. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about it.
Let's
talk about the Chinese lifters that were in the classic, right? So everyone saw when the nomination were that we had some Chinese slots. So the information we received when we go to China is in China, every single sport that is participating like at the World Games or the Olympics or the World Cup or whatever, these international competitions.
Any IOC sport.
Yeah, any IOC sport, they have to be government recognized. But the Chinese IPF Federation is not government recognized in China. So when they saw all these names at the World Games, the next question was like, who the hell are these people? What sport is it? We don't, because in China, they're not like the UK. In China, if you're part of the sport, the government look after you, right? Just has like Hungary, where Anna winning, if he would have won, he would have earned 45 to 50, or is it 75?
No, 45. Come on, bro.
45,000 euros for him winning the gold medal at the World Games.
I'm sure he said pounds.
Yeah, he came second.
Wait.
Hello, say that again, because I've
bro.
Dropping numbers without any. Yeah,
Mo. Enna for coming second, he won £36,000.
Okay,
for coming second.
See, my passport is flexible. That's what people don't understand.
Me too. I'm hungry all the time.
That's him coming second, and the Hungarian that was in the super heavyweight, he came sixth. He won that 17 grand.
10.
So 10 grand. So Enna won made
That's
more
why I got
money.
free. That's why I got free deadlift, bro.
Yes.
That's why I
Why do
said
you
the
think he
game
went
plan
from
has changed.
375 to 377.5? It's a money move.
That's why I said the game plan has changed.
Because
for
the
this.
thing
Yeah, I was
when you
gonna
think about
say,
it,
bro.
Okay,
Everyone's like,
that's
I mean,
how come he's making a
easy.
small jump? Yeah, man sees bags.
bro, the thing is
Bags.
like, why?
Wow.
But the thing is that again, when it comes to, I'm just gonna use that in example, right? He won more money than anyone winning at Sheffield. Just to show how these sports, when they're government backed, how actually people are looked after. And
Wait,
let's
let me
not
check
talk,
something real
bro.
quick.
Let's not talk about Singapore. I don't even want to go there.
Oh,
Do
you can
know what I
add
mean?
Georgia, Ukraine, add them to the list as
You know,
well.
Ukraine. Why do you think Anatoly dropped weight to win? Georgia. Have you
Have you ever seen
Tim,
Tima that happy?
Timo jumping? Bro, he jumped. I thought he was about to break his back.
I was wondering why he's got a new 5 series every other week. Bro just
Bro.
turns up to comps to make bag. What?
Bro.
But
Listen,
bro,
listen, I'm Georgian now. All right.
Bro,
3 years
bro
is
was.
enough time.
I mean, Timo was in the corner when Etienne came in to pull for the win. Timo was praying. He was on his knee praying.
Praying, bro. He was
Praying,
sweating.
bro. Again, this is
even what's his name? Etienne met with the Minister of Sports for Lebanon. I saw that.
The other country, let's be honest, bro. Other
Bro,
countries,
Sanita had about 10 meetings because of the World Games.
other countries give a fuck. That's the difference.
They give a
don't. Britain does not give a fuck.
we're the only one there that we felt a little bit embarrassed for every athlete experience, right? But we're not gonna go there. But anyway,
You'll probably get back and they're gonna tax you on that watch. Bro, they're gonna be like, at the airport, right? You pay VAT.
Benefiting kind.
Benefiting kind, bro. So yeah, I mean, for me, like, just to wrap up on the experience in terms of like on the meet itself, I think, again, I will repeat this again. I know the viewership in terms of people were home, there was a little issue left, right, and center. But let's not just come and jump into it, start bashing everything else and thinking, oh yeah, it was shit and that and that. Look, all I can say is the athlete. To me, yes, viewership is great, all of that. But if the athlete experience is shit, what's the point of viewership? What's the point? Do you know what I mean? If I go there, as Gustav would say, if I go there, there's not enough eggs, right? There's not enough chicken. There's not enough beans. What is the point? What is the point? So the reality is, like, the experience on the meet day. I mean, man, they had a portable sauna just for me and Gustav and Ericsson, right? Guys, and you want me to talk about how they closed some of the streets because it was dedicated for the athletes? You want me to talk about how they closed shops? Do you want me to talk about how every single time the athlete bus is passing, all the thingy T junctions or whatever are closed, the police is escorting? Christian, do you want to talk about how when our bus broke down on aircon, what happened?
Hey, it's story time, people. Are you ready? So we're going to the closing ceremony. We're in an entourage of about 6 or 7 coaches. It's like it's mild outside. No, we're on must have been like a motorway, right? 3 or 4 lane. It's an hour's journey. We're all happy. They've given us a packed lunch for the journey before the closing ceremony. So about 35, 40 minutes through the journey, somebody, I don't know who it was complaining that the AC is not working.
It was Kedrick.
Kedrick, he's complaining, he's not even doing anything. He's complaining that it's a bit hot, the AC is not working. He goes and tells one of the stewards that's on the coach. I kid you not, 5 minutes later, everything's shut down. We're stopped. We're stopped by the side of the road, an entourage of 6 or 7 coaches, I can't remember, and they go to us. I think what we're gonna do, because we can't fix the AC on this bus, is you're gonna have to get off and get on a bus behind us. And we're like, what do you mean get on a bus behind us? They have planned, I told you in the beginning, they planned everything. They're even to the extent where we're going on an hour's journey to another venue, and they've already planned a spare driver and coach behind us. So that's the level of meticulous organization that goes into an event like that, and that we were at. So we were well looked after, properly looked after, to the point where it's kind of like embarrassing. Like, how much money have they spent on this? They didn't need to do all of this, but that's not the point. The point is that we leave China, and every man, woman, and child is talking about how good it was, not just from a sporting aspect, but from the experience around the city and everything else. It was just unbelievable.
And also, like, coming home, Air China at the airport when we were checking our luggage, because we did the World Games, of course, we had those priority stuff. And apparently, our allowance kilos just got bumped up. Kedrick went from 23 to like 50 kilos, right? So he's calling everybody else. Again, to explain, this is the experience we had. I mean, you're not going to be coming doing Sheffield. You're getting British Airways from the US, and they tell you, oh, you're going to do Sheffield. By the way, you're not 23 anymore. You got 223 or 323s. You're not going to get that. Do you know what I mean? So again, it's just the experience we're saying. And I don't even want to talk about when I won the athlete of the day. The reception we got. Do you know what I mean? Because again, I said to the whole team, let's go for this thing, for this award. We need to go as a team. We need all to go there. I thought it was just like me turning up like with my tracksuit. They give you a bloody certificate or whatever, handshake, you go home. Guys, Lord Christ. I don't even know where to start. Do you know what I mean? First of all, they send the driver to come and pick us up at the airport, at the hotel where we were staying, right? Almost like bespoke. Everything is just crazy. They took us there. It was, oh yeah, you need to go to this athlete lounge that we had to go and sit down. I'm just thinking like, and they had like, I think it was 7 or 8 steward around our table, all of them just there for you guys in terms of like whatever you need, they will attend to it, right? It was crazy, right? Of course, Christian had his own experience as well from the outside, but me, because I'm the one that won it, I was just looking around thinking, this is madness. This is crazy, right? So, yeah. So, guys, again, I know we've covered quite a fair bit in terms of the experience and in terms of course, the competition itself on that one. Guys, any other comment across everything we've spoken about? Because there was always going to be negative stuff, right? Let's not go forget that. So, of course, we can't just talk about positive. We can have to cover the negative as well. I know we covered the IPF and we covered the refereeing. So, anything, guys, you guys saw there, you thought, yeah, go on.
So, can you imagine if Mo would win athlete of the day? There's a car parked outside and he's just walking up the motorway with his fucking thing, like he did in Sheffield.
There was a game plan, bro. There was a game plan. I would have just cut to 98.5. I would have made the cut.
Yeah, fucking sausage.
And also the other thing as well, probably I will add is, did you guys notice that every single athlete that turned up to the World Games, even though the turnaround was so short, but people added kilos to their numbers. Right?
Some people.
Whether the people
Must
that
have been
didn't
some
make
in the
weight,
beef.
whether people that didn't make weight or whether people that made weight, everyone added the kilos. You know, and again, this comes down to when you are happy, you treated really well, you just perform.
A good stress-free environment takes you a long way.
Yeah.
Like having all that training area and all the rest, all the people looking after you. On the flip side, do you remember the training room in Lithuania? Do you remember it? Yeah. There was some scaffolding and a bar, and that's it. Everything else was just a regular gym. Do leg press if you want to.
I think one thing that this tells me is, as much as people laugh at the Olympics dream and laugh at the whole aiming for Olympics and more towards the narrative of powerlifting should go towards more of a CrossFit style event where we're sort of trying to have a big event on social media and everything.
Who says that?
I think.
Can you tell me who says that? Because I need to.
A lot of people. Like, to be honest with you, a lot of the new generation have
fuck the new generation then.
They have zero interest in Olympics, and a lot of the old generation don't believe that powerlifting is ever going to get into the Olympics. It's like there's on both sides. But what this just shows is government-backed sports is a different league. And I know, unfortunately, some countries like maybe the Americas, they don't get as much backing, and the UK, we're sort of still struggling here and there. But in general, government-backed sport is a different league, and anything we can do to get to the status where we can now become a government-backed sport or federation, and that leaks over to the athletes. It's just in terms of competition venue, in terms of travel, in terms of sponsorship, in terms of drug tests, in terms of everything. It just goes into another plane that we're currently not even playing ball in right now. So
Yeah, and I think that's for me. I 100% Mo. That's what we spoke about with Charlie with all this tier 1, tier 2 stuff. I mean, we're not even close to tier 2. If you get there, but when I'm 50, we will be lucky. But the
see,
whole
I'm
point
planning the timeline to go to Hungary is looking a lot quicker for me, to be honest with you. So
I'm shouting about this because I'm already enjoying my life. I've been to multiple worlds. I've been to Sheffield as a coach. I'm going to go to Sheffield as a coach again. Been to World Games, won Euros, won multiple British. Right. I'm shouting about this for the person that is 27, wondering if they should quit powerlifting or not. I'm shouting about this because of Josh and Nonso, and all these people. If we want to be 50, 60 and be watching powerlifting at the Olympics, or right, powerlifting still in the World Games, classic powerlifting still in the World Games, but there's funding for it. We want to be like, we led the way on that. We told them not to give up. Bro, that's because what else is there? It's in the past now, it's gone. So and it's once every 4 years. So how much can you be there? But it does help if everybody gets behind this. This stuff about the sport being a meme is over. It's done with, because
second
sorry
place is
guys, I
130 grand.
got exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What's the minimum wage in the UK? The people are
Bro,
flying in McDonald's.
when I speak to my friends at uni, right, that I know at uni, or my work friends, when I say World Championships, they think that's cool. When I now started saying I'm going to the World Games, they were like, wow. They were like, wow. I was like, oh.
God,
So I should have been training for World Games instead of Worlds. I was like, oh damn, I'm the one that's got it, messed up. Got it the other way around. So I think that everyone watching this, if you're a powerlifter, if you're a coach, if you're official, you're a referee, everyone needs to be on the same bandwagon. If you're not on this bandwagon, I'm going to consider you a hater. That's just what it is.
Look, myself, when I came back, this experience at work, an email went all the way to the top, right? And
if you get another barbell with your name on, I'm gonna come shit on your Hyundai. I'll be honest with you, bro.
No, this time I'm getting.
I'm gonna be a hater now.
I'm getting emails from the House of Lord, bro. Trust me, you guys are not.
Yeah, especially after they saw your night video, bro. They're gonna night you
bro. And especially like when I had to sit there, what Christian said in the beginning, when I had to sit there and tell someone, "What have you won?" I was like, "Where can I start?" Do you know what I mean? Again,
World Games sounds a lot better than trying to explain what Sheffield is.
Oh, of course, bro.
Yeah, can you imagine? I won Sheffield. What's that?
Yeah, bro.
Because you have to explain it. Like, we know Sheffield's a big deal and it's fantastic, but you have to explain it.
Yeah. The World Games, you don't have to. Because, again, this is what we said, isn't it? When you come, what's the pinnacle of powerlifting? It's not Sheffield. It's not. Again, I'm not bashing Sheffield because
as of right now, majority of the population will still be Sheffield. But I think if the narrative will slowly change towards people looking long term and going, World Games is the pinnacle because it's once every 4 years.
No, bro. As right now, as it stands right now, the pinnacle of powerlifting is the World Games because that's the only thing that will get
you get 20-80% split on that.
Bro,
right
look,
now.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. We are the first.
It doesn't matter, bro.
And the most elite at that.
Yeah,
the majority. Just because you're majority doesn't mean you're right. Like, let's be perfectly honest. Yeah.
The reality of things here is the only thing that is close to the Olympics is the World Games that we have experienced, right? Sheffield is not going to get us to the Olympics. The only thing that will get us to the Olympics is the World Games. As Christian said, we were with athletes that were in Paris at the World Games. This is where we got that experience in terms. I mean, let's not even talk about the medal we got. These guys were saying like, your medals are better than the Olympics medal. I was just,
those medals were fun. After you showed me your medal, I went away and I picked up the medals that we got from fucking Croatia. That see-through thing with a sticker on. Do you remember it? Please tell me you remember it. It was a see-through circular thing with a sticker on it.
Oh,
This
No,
one's on the
no,
IPF.
You mean the
Because
plastic
the
I was
one?
like,
IPF
I
need
was
to
like,
actually
yo,
step up. I saw
what the
the
fuck is
medal
this?
that happened for the Asians in Japan, and
They're
that
all
was
the same medals
beautiful.
now. They're all
That was
apparently they're
beautiful.
all now going to be the same. You know those
Well,
tiny ass ones that you get.
that's
That's the
ridiculous. Why would they
standard.
do that?
Do you remember the ones from Malta? They were I still love the one from Malta because it was sick. It had the Maltese cross on there, everything. And then Jurins showed me his, and I just went and threw the Croatia one in the bin.
Yeah.
I can't even use it as a coaster because the stickers fell off, so it just slides
I
off.
can't even explain how beautiful that medal is.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I can't explain that. So again, it goes down to when the government trying to push and trying to promote a sport and trying to put money into things just turn out well. But again, I will say this: the youngsters, as Christian saying, anyone nowadays who's powerlifting, don't just look at Sheffield. If the World Games will be there, if Classic will be there, try and train for that. Do you know what I mean? Because you can only do probably one World Games or two, but you within that you can do 5, 6 Sheffield. Do you know what I mean? That's the point. Fun enough, Rob, some of my American friends, when we were posting stories, the amount of DMs I got saying like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, this is ridiculous. This is dope. I can't believe we missed this." Again, you can't blame them because of what happened in the federation or with their president or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But the reality is an opportunity, the chance that these guys have missed and experience probably they were never going to get. Because as I said, the World Game might end up in, of course, Germany. It's not going to be the same as in China. Do you know what I mean? That is a fact. But anyway.
Well, I mean, let's see though. It's still going to be a government-backed sport irrespective. So we're not going to be struggling in some county or city hall trying to do a powerlifting meet. So
yeah, but that city where they put the World Games in Germany, right? It's just literally Chemnitz in steroid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're definitely getting stoned there.
Carlslow or
Yeah.
or something.
It's literally Chemnitz in steroid. It's not going to be Chengdu, bro.
it's never going to. I'll be honest with you. There's different countries do different things. Like, I'm not saying I'm not bashing any country in particular, right? But there's a certain level of like respect and self-worth in the jobs that they do. For example, if you held a world championships in a place like China and Japan, I can guarantee you the service that you'll receive there will be a different level in comparison to like other places. And that's the problem. Like having gone Chengdu now as the first one, going to Germany, you'll probably see a significant difference.
Because I
I
remember when
mean, you
we
say that, I'm looking at the Special Olympics that Germany has hosted, you know.
But you have to be accessible for these Special Olympics, so there has to be a certain level of care.
Of course.
Whereas when you're walking around the airport, they're gonna be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Check his bag."
Yeah, I remember when we were arriving in China, right? The night before we stayed in the hotel because again, IPF, I think they fucked up with the bookings as always, so we had to stay outside the village the night before. I was posting to Tony about the hotel we stayed. We booked a £37 a night hotel. We thought it was just a normal one. We end up there is a 5-star. That's number one, right? Moving on from that, even Tony said to us, "Oh, guys, you guys are having fun in this hotel. I can't wait for you guys when you get in the village. Compare those rooms, you'll see what I'm talking about." Because he's been to Birmingham, Alabama in America. And the hotel village over there, the village was literally dog shit. So Tony thought we're going to get the exact same experience. But when we end up to our hotel, he goes like, "I take everything back. This is
There's
stupid.
nothing.
Why am I missing
Alabama,
this shit?"
yeah, Alabama, America is the end,
You know what I
bro.
mean? So yeah, guys. I know we covered over an hour now in terms of the World Games, the old experience, and everything we went through. Again, I think for me personally, apart from the individual accolades and the individual performance and the individual experience I had, I think powerlifting is in a great place because what we saw in terms of like experience, the viewership, and also that the popularity of powerlifting at the World Games is something we all should be proud of. You know, even those people are bashing the World Games, those people are bashing some of the performance, some of the viewings or whatever, but we all should be behind it, and we've done an amazing job. So hopefully it continue. We saw the president there. Of course, we had a word or two. I mean, even Christian goes like, "I want this in 2029." You know,
I told him
so
to his face and I asked him for a selfie at the same time. I got no shame.
it's true. And he was like, I will try my best. So, yeah, his response was not convincing, but he says he's going to try his best, right? Again, this is what I'm saying. If the opportunity comes out, we all have to grab it literally with two hands and just run away with it. Because this experience probably is second to none. Again, it's not me bashing some of the meet directors or some of the big powerlifting competitions that are there. The World Championship is still progressing. Of course, Sheffield has had a massive influence in terms of meat production. The example is there, and it's just us as powerlifters, as around the world, to try to create that experience, right? Rather than just talking about it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's one thing I have to put an exclamation mark by, is that there's nothing good. There's competition wise, the World Championships is always going to be the World Championships. You get the head-to-heads, you got the competition, you got even the strategy, the powerlifting strategy that you have to have at a World Championships is, there's nothing else like it, to be honest. And if you want to be, if you're a powerlifting purist, that is going to be in the top forever, right? So we're not taking anything away from that. It's just that the kind of experience that you have is there are different competitions for different things, right? And you know, as just Jurins has said, Sheffield, when it comes to an exhibition of the sport, an exhibition of strength,
it's a celebration of the sport, really.
Exactly, it's a phenomenal production. What those two events need to take from this is adding that level of preparedness and professionality and almost over the top presentation and organization, and then we're gonna, you know, we will be all be spoiled in terms of both the athletes, the coaches, even those people at home that are watching and have something to aspire to. So we're not pitting this competition against that competition. It is more that, you know, the sport is growing, we're in a good place, and for us to be able to experience something that powerlifting has never, classic powerlifting has never had in this manner is phenomenal. So we have to bring the experience to you guys. We have to communicate that so it can, you know, as the saying goes, a rising tide raises all boats. So that's one thing I felt that we needed to say.
I
Well,
think
funny enough, in 2027, China's put a bid to also host Classics World Juniors. So maybe there might be a round 2 again for China. Who knows?
I mean, it won't happen until that federation become government sponsored. Do you know what I
But
mean?
I'm guessing 2027 is enough time for them to start making that play
because
for any.
Because they had a bid for next year as well, isn't it? It was between Dubai and China. I think it ended up in Dubai. I think that's got to do with that as well.
I think Dubai will spend some money though, as of right now.
Oh, Dubai will be.
The Arabs will treat you well.
Yeah, but last time
Dubai will be fire, to be honest.
Yeah, but last time powerlifting was in Dubai, the experience from everybody is it was amazing, but it was in the middle of nowhere. No shops, nothing. In the middle
let's be honest.
We win Chemnitz, bro. What's the difference?
Yeah, let's be honest though. When has it been in a central location?
Yeah,
never. I believe it. Yeah,
like this, the most central location it was Malta, and that's because it was a small island, so everything's central. But like, remember Skinowish? They were Poland.
Oh my God!
That was local.
I even forget that. Please don't.
I
even forget that place existed.
Man took us from 100 to 0.
Yo, bro.
I don't know.
Far away. I was like, bro,
boys,
you were nearly at the front line.
Boys, I don't know about you guys. Like, you know, there's some powerlifting meet that we've done in the past. I've just literally wiped them in my memory.
It's gone. Literally.
If you ask me, like, what did you do in 2022? All I can tell you, like, 2022, I did the British. That's it.
No, but
and
like
I did South Africa.
I'm like, how the hell did we end up here? Do you know what I mean? Like, it just How
I think
did we end up there?
again, I think the last message I will call out to everyone who's listening, every powerlifter out there, we're the only one that can run our federation. We're the only one that can run our sports. So we need to volunteer, give the time, be dedicated. Whether you're a meet director or you're a lifter or a referee, whatever what your capacity is, you just need to help, because being at the airport in China, right? I mean, Christian can vouch on this. There was queues, like priority queues of the athletes going to the World Games. I felt so, I don't know whether it's a good or bad. You see other athletes, when they ask us, what do you guys do? We say powerlifting. People are asking us are telling us, they're calling us real athletes. Right? They say, oh, you guys are the real athletes. We're just like a fake sport. I was like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Because the reality is, because they look at us, they're thinking like we are part of, especially Team GB, the way we travel, like, fucking hell, we are a real team. Do you know what I mean? And them, like, of course, I'm not belittling these sports, but you got tug of war and water sport or softball or whatever. They're just thinking like, what the fuck? But you guys like shift a serious weight. You guys are the real athletes. We're just like wannabes or pretend to be sportsmen. So to me, I don't know how I felt about that comment, but still, it made me believe like, okay, if these people are looking at me and thinking I'm the real athlete, but I look at myself thinking, I'm just doing a fucking expensive hobby, which is true. But the only people that can run these sports and the federation is ourselves, right? And then we'll get, as Christian said, we'll get to the level of the World Games in terms of like athlete experience, of course, and the rest. And on that note, guys, any other comments on everything that we covered?
No, I think that the mindset really is the IPF don't drop the ball. Please don't take classics out of war games. That's a massive mistake. And then, frankly speaking, we've seen the videos. We've seen what the potential of ward games is, what it actually means to the athlete side. Federations should pick up the ball and ensure that their athletes are supported and also given the opportunity to attend these games in 2029. And also, athletes should take it as a serious option. So.
Whichever new gen person Mo was speaking about who thinks it should be CrossFit based, there's other sports, please. It's Tetris, bowls. There's plenty of stuff you need to be doing. Please leave us alone.
All right, guys. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us on this one. Anyone that is still with us, I mean, you've stuck around, so we appreciate you. As we said, the World Games was fantastic for Christian, myself, everybody else that participated. I really believe we represented powerlifting really well, right? In terms of like what we did, the performance, our approach to it, even like our engagement with other athletes, right? I think we represented powerlifting really, really well. And then, fun enough, we were even with equipped. Again, at the World Games, we were one sport. It just sad that when it comes to our community, we intend to divide these two. But at the World Games, we were powerlifters, right? Whether equipped or classic or whatever, we supported each other. So, which was really fantastic to see. And yeah, anyone who has a question, comment in anything we covered, if you have got maybe other opinions around it, of course, drop more a message. You will be able to answer. Because don't drop it to me, because number one, I will just drop you my list of accolades that you won't be able to finish reading it until you probably like, yeah. I had to drop that, bro. I told you guys. I told you from last year. I said, look, I qualify for the World Games. If I end up to winning the World Games, you guys are fucked.
I can see some poor kid just messaging Jurins. How can I get started in powerlifting? How dare you message me?
How dare you message me, bro? Before you
What have
start
you done?
powerlifting, what have you done? Have you won the Commonwealth?
Are
Right?
we on the same
Have you won
level? They are
world?
messaging me.
Are we on the same level? Have you won multiple British? Have you won multiple Europeans? Have you won world? See, I'm out of breath because there's so many things I've won. Jesus Christ. So, on that note, guys, as I always said, there is level to this sport. I don't care what your talent is. I don't care how strong you are. If you don't show me a resume, you can't talk to me. Right? There's only one World Games classic middleweight champion, and you're looking at him.
Yeah, that's 4 years, bro. That's 4 years
fire.
before anyone
That's
can
fire.
say that.
That is
4
actually fire.
years.
You know?
We got another.
And then
We got another
and
3 years and 11 months of this, bro.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
you win as many world championship you can win,
Ah.
but you can't show me a pounder medal. Do you know what I mean? So on that note, guys, yes, that's me there. I had to do a Jurins because that's how it is. That's how it works. So by the way, I would just remind to the listeners as well, by the way, I hit 120.89 GL point, right? And that has put me, I think, 4th in IPF International, a 7 in an all-time list on the men's
Whoa,
side.
whoa, 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 whoa,
One in
whoa,
GB.
whoa, whoa.
Yeah?
One
No,
in
no,
GB,
I'm,
no?
no, but I'm not talking about am I GB level but I'm not GB level anymore. But what are you talking about, bro?
Yo, I remember like 2020, the conversations used to be there was zero chance of ever catching Joy as a male. So
You're looking at him, bro.
the fact you actually accomplished that is actually nuts, man.
Yeah,
Respect.
that's
man.
wild. That's actually
I know
Yeah.
wild.
Christian
I
is
remember,
looking at it.
yeah.
Huh?
Christian is looking at it. Looking on the
I'm
men's
looking at
side,
it.
IPF. On the
Yeah, I am.
IPF.
Bruh, you're ahead of Russ, Keiko, Bob, Backerland, Hanatoli. Man.
So
Man,
yeah,
man.
there is level to these sports. Again, that's not me discouraging everybody because anything is possible, right? But it's just because I've reached that level where I think I can talk my shit because I put so much work into this. I don't have the talent that
Wait.
everybody has.
Which list are you looking at that you're top 13?
Men only.
Top
Men only.
13. What are you talking
Oh,
about, bro?
men only. I was looking for your name in it. I was scrolling, I had not seen it yet. That's why I was asking.
No, but
But
no,
I did combined.
I think combined, I'm like 25th or something like that. So if you combine all time men and women and all the weight classes, so yeah. But again,
What
it's a
about just
great,
men?
28th.
just men. I think I'm 7 all time, and
Yeah,
IPF
7.
only I'm 4th, I think.
That's
So
mad,
yeah,
innit, if you think about it.
that's crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, we've done well, and then
Yeah.
I'm happy with
Why
it.
is
And then, yeah.
Jawan's name here, bro? Why isn't that scrapped from the everything? And Jesse Norris too. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, ignore these guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, like that 120 jail point is a flex. That's crazy.
nuts,
I
man.
didn't know that until someone sent me a screenshot a couple of days ago. I was just like, fuck my life. But anyway,
Yeah.
on that note, guys, of course, as I said, if you have any comment or whatever, drop in the comment section. You want to come to us and talk to us, of course, more than happy to host you guys. So yeah, until then, here is your 2025 middleweight World Games champion, and then athlete of the day, the recipient of a watch. By the way, there was only 10 watches that were given. You know that, right?
Yeah, for 10 athletes.
Is that the one you put on the wall behind you?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Oh, I can't wait. I
You
can't
walked into
wait.
that one. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks like it as well.
It's such a prick. I can't wait to turn up to the British with me wearing my watch. I'm bringing my
You know,
panda.
yeah.
Bro.
I just remembered. So this is completely random, but I had a shower and cake after I competed. In Germany, they were telling me to get out because it's too late. After like 30 minutes after I competed, I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah,
It's 2 different
because
worlds.
usually they're waiting to like do some drug testing on someone, but they didn't want to do that there. They were like, just get out. You've competed. Go back to your rooms.
Different
even,
worlds.
did you see in the sauna they had everything ready for you? Towels, food, water,
Yeah.
everything was
Oh,
there.
by the way, for the listeners, I didn't bring my towel. I didn't bring body wash. That stuff was already there.
No, didn't need that. But anyway, on that note, let's talk soon.